blackout, blackout. Hit the line for the blackout, blackout. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything, black, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, blacked out, black everything, black, black everything, everything, all black, everything, everything, all black, everything, everything, all black, everything, everything, black.
Woke up this morning with a gun to my head. Somebody help me, she wants me dead. Woke up this morning with the devil in my bed. In the air, everywhere, in my veins and in my head. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead. Well. This morning with a gun to my head. Brother should have told me she'll be dead. Without a warning, not a clue, without a sound. In your house, out of bounds, you can run but you can't hide. Damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. She wants me damn, 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 damn. Well.
A scrub is a guy that thinks he's fly and is also known as a buster. Always talking about what he wants and just sits on his broke ass. So no, I don't want your number, no. I don't wanna give you mine, and no, I don't wanna meet you nowhere, no. I don't want none of your time, and no. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me, hanging at the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can look in your eye had me changing my mind. You're just waiting for me to arrive. And now all I can see is that sweet memory, chasing Betty's rolling down the street. Oh, that look in your eyes had me changing my mind. We're just running too far out of time. Now you're all I can see, and it's hard to believe. You've been waiting for me. I guess I took my time making my way to you. And now you're telling me the shit you already knew. You've been treading lightly, and I was unaware, waiting for what might be. Is it love in the air? Oh, oh, that look in your eyes had me changing my mind. We're just running too far out of time. Now you're all I can see, and it's hard to believe. You've been waiting for me. Oh,
And hello and welcome back everybody for our final round 2 match in the losers bracket between Zwang and Timo this time. So again, both of these teams unfortunately lost the matches in the upper bracket, but they'll get a chance again to prove themselves here. Now this will be an elimination match, so the loser of this game will be knocked out of the tournament. So we're going to have Zwang against Timo. Zwang off a very close series against Goon Squad. Just barely lost in a 1-2, but it was a very close series. So they're looking for redemption and they're going to look for the third place in this bottom bracket. And I would say Zwang are one of the more favored teams to get third place. Now Timo, they had a very rough opponent in that winners bracket. So unfortunately they finished last in the round robin and they were playing against the undefeated Mundo Club, who have continued to be undefeated all the way to the finals. So they had a very rough matchup unfortunately for them, so they're going to be also taking on Zwang this time. So let's take a look at the bans here. So we have Seraphine, Shen and Tristana taken away. In return we have Vladimir, target banned against the Zwang matchup. And Lulu taken out as well, a very strong meta pick right now, with Hecarim last picked. Now we're going to see Darius locked in first, so maybe that's a contested pick. Maybe we have top laners on both sides that can play the Darius. In return, it's going to be the Cho'Gath locked in. Well, not locked in yet, we'll have to see, but it is being hovered now. So yes, the Cho'Gath is going to get locked in here. And what is Timo going to reply with next? They are thinking long and hard about this one. So we'll have to see what they go with. And it's going to be the Amumu locked in. That is very interesting. You definitely do not see Amumus that often these days. He does have a reasonably quick clear speed, I believe, but the problem is he just cannot fight these scuttle crabs at all. But you never know. We'll have to see what Have a Laugh can do on this Amumu. A very surprising pick for sure. And the Nasus is locked in as well for Zwang. So interesting. Are we going to see a Darius jungle or something? Or maybe Zwang are going to follow in Salty Boy's footsteps and pull out the Darius support. Who knows what's going to happen here. But we're going to see Dandy get his famous Katarina in the mid lane. He did really pop off one game in the upper bracket and really carried one game against Goon Squad on this pick. Superfluous is going to pick up the Ahri, which is a very safe mid lane pick and has a lot of pick potential on it. So now, although I say Dandy has a Katarina, it's a very hard composition to play Katarina into. You have a Mumu ultimate, you have Cho'Gath silence that can instantly interrupt you. She is probably nimble enough to dodge out on a charm, but it's going to be very hard to dodge the Cho'Gath silence or a Mumu ult, which are both just instant.
I must not fall.
So now Leona banned away from the side of Zwang. I mean, from the side of Timo, more like. So what will the final ban here be for Timo? Now it's going to be the Samira taken away. So very strong pick, especially with a sort of comp that dives in a lot. Samira can definitely follow up those engages very well. And now Immerse God, gonna be the final ban here for Zwang. So it's gonna be the Vayne taken away. Vayne could be potentially very scary for a Nasus and Darius, right? One of those ADCs that can kite out these sort of tanky frontline bruisers very well and do a lot of damage and shred through them. Instead, Dupe is going to go for his Caitlyn. He has played that champion quite a bit so far, as that gets locked in. So what is Zwang going to go for this time? The TF being hovered and Vega. Nope, it's going to be... Oh. And it's going to be TF locked in. I wonder if that is TF ADC in the bot lane? Because we already see Dandy has locked in the Katarina, so it could very well be a TF ADC. So I'm very curious to see how this works out. That's going to be interesting to watch. And I would assume Super Nub is going to build AD. Maybe with like a rapid fire sort of build. Yuumi locked in as well to pair with the Twisted Fate. I wonder if Yuumi follows the TF when he ports. I would assume not. But maybe there's some hidden technology here that I don't know. Thresh gonna be locked in for the side of Teemo. And I don't know, on paper, Caitlyn Thresh seems very rough for TF Yuumi. But maybe they're gonna prove me wrong, we'll see. Kip QX gonna be on the Darius jungle, it seems like. The captain of Zwang there. And Darius, you know, did receive buffs to his bleed passive, I believe. So maybe his clear speed is fast enough now. And I have to say, something like an Amumu won't be able to really punish anyway. Even if the clear speed is low. So team composition wise, Teemo have a much more structured, I suppose, front to back. Whereas Zwang can definitely break it up and cause a lot of chaos with this Katarina, with this TF porting in from behind. So I don't know, it's going to be very interesting to see how these two teams play this out. M-Balance on the Cho'Gath vs Nasus matchup in the top lane. You would expect M-Balance to get a lot of push priority. So he might be able to support his Amumu in these sort of engages. Where Dandy in the mid lane matchup very volatile with the Katarina vs Ahri. Definitely relies on Superfluous landing that quick charm onto Dandy after he jumps in. And if he's enabled to do that, then Dandy should be able to walk all over him. So we would definitely have to see how that goes. And in the bot lane, however, as I mentioned, you would expect Caitlyn Thresh to definitely get the early push in the TF Yuumi. But again, maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe the TF Yuumi is some sleeper OP combination in the bot lane. Now in the top lane, in the jungle, I don't really know how you can compare these clear speeds. These are two jungle champs that I haven't really ever seen. Recently anyway. So I don't know who clears faster. Darius would definitely win the skirmishes. If they do find each other. So you would expect Have a Laugh to try to path away from the Darius. Try to guess where he's pathing towards. And try to dodge the other way so he can at least secure one crab for himself. Or maybe he might just go for full clear on the Amumu. We'll have to see. It will be very interesting. So scaling wise, I don't know. It's quite close. Maybe I would give it towards Teemo a bit more. It seems like later the game goes, they'll be able to structure team fights a lot better. With Amumu creating a lot of zone control and CC. Cho'Gath as well, being a super tanky frontline, and I have to say Zwang don't have the most consistent damage to chew through the frontline of Amumu and Cho'Gath. TF is kind of lacking there where normal ADCs would be able to kind of pick up a Kraken Slayer, do a lot of consistent damage. What TF does offer though is a lot of pick potential early to mid game. And that's something other ADCs won't offer. So we'll have to see if Zwang can capitalize on that and kind of snowball this game earlier. And I would expect maybe a lot of play around Dandy in the mid lane. Maybe the bot lane of Zwang is going to pour in with TF a lot with these ganks and try to get this Katarina rolling. We saw Dandy is more than capable enough of snowballing a game out of control, and this could happen once again. As we load on into game, we will be able to check out the runes and some of the spells fairly shortly. As we load on in here. And hopefully my game catcher is working. Might have to ult out. There we go. We do have that sorted. So yeah, Dandy once again opting into the Ignite, Teleport, some of the spells. Really trying to be aggressive with that kill pressure. Super Nub, the press the attack, does confirm that it is going to be an ADC TF. And the cleanse take against Thresh, which is quite smart because you do have a Yuumi. And Yuumi is able to take the heal instead. So TF's going to be a lot more safe against something like a Thresh. And Teemo does have a lot of hard CC, so this cleanse is going to be invaluable. And I wonder if M-Balance will be able to punish this Nessus in the top lane. Immerse God has played the Nessus quite a few times in the past, so he's definitely more than aware of his champion's weaknesses and when he gets strong enough to 1v1. As we start up the first game of our series between Zwang and Teemo. Let's see if there's any early game shenanigans. There very well could be with something like a Thresh. Something like a TF. Both teams have enough level 1 CC to maybe pull out a weird invade here. And yes, here we go. It looks like Zwang are grouping up as 5. Whereas the side of Teemo are kind of fanning out like normal. So let's see if there's an engagement in the river. That's a very early ward by Dupe, and it is going to spot out this invade.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So Zwang are just going to back it off here. Now, as we see, it looks like both junglers will be pathing the same direction, which is quite a win for Zwang, you would expect, because this Amumu definitely cannot contest this Darius jungle for these early Scuttle Crab fights. So I wonder if Kip QX can potentially get a double crab this game and snowball this early game lead. A lot of this will of course rely on his side laners though. You might expect M-Balance to get the push early however against the Nessus, so we will have to point that out and keep that in mind. But I would expect Dandy to get the push over Superfluous in the early game in mid lane though. Some light trading in top lane. Both are probably just going to sustain the backup. Both champions have a lot of sustain for free in their kits. Nice little Q there, tags Dandy. And let's see this TF Yuumi combination in the bottom lane. I'm so curious about how this goes. It will indeed be quite interesting to watch. Now, as expected, the Caitlyn and Thresh is getting the shove in against the TF Yuumi early game. And oh, you can see Dandy jumping into the mid lane. Just misses the dagger proc though. So good spacing there by Superfluous. And Immerse God actually running into M-Balance. As you can see, the Ghost is popped by Kip QS. He's going to land the E onto M-Balance. And this is just going to be first blood over to the Darius. A very nice gank there by Kip QX. He consciously skips his Raptors. So I don't think M-Balance was expecting him to be there that early. So very nicely done there by him. And that's going to be the first crab as well, topside secured for Kip QX. It looks like Have a Laugh just went for a complete full clear. So he is definitely going to consciously give up these two crabs as expected on the Amumu. You can't really contest the Darius early game. And Eddie and Dupe getting some chip damage onto the tower very early. Supermod has the go card, does line it up, does some good damage, but Eddie lands the hook, instant cleanse by Supernub, and Eddie's might be in trouble here. Ignite goes down onto Eddie, and Supernub flashes out. Ignite is ticking, but he is going to survive. Dupe the Soup, never mind, he does land a very nice Q and snipes him, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Dupe is hitting down this Yumi, but does not have enough damage to finish her. So 1-for-1 trade in the bottom lane, both kills going over to the ADCs respectively. And Balance now trying to get some damage onto Immerse God, and you can see it's the Immerse God specialty with the Fleet of Footwork Nasus. He just has so much sustain with those runes. So he can kind of shrug off the poke here. And now Have a Laugh is walking in. He looks like he is just going to try to help M-Balance shove in the wave. Missing pings going down from Immerse God, but I believe M-Balance is scared of a gank and is asking his jungler to get the wave shoved in. And yeah, you can see Have a Laugh. M-Balance was out of mana as well, and they do get the shove in there. And off that, maybe they'll be able to get an invade off for this Amumu. Have a Laugh looking to invade the top side of Kip QX. Kip QX though gonna start up this dragon, and Darius with those bleed buffs does so much damage to dragons. And yep, that's gonna just be a solo, basically solo dragon by Kip QX. You can see Dandy has priority in the mid lane, is 10 CS up as well, so he's winning the matchup. Teleport gonna come in actually from Dandy in the top lane, and they might be looking to fight this. Immerse God lands that, Ignite drops on to Have a Laugh, Conqueror is proc for the Katarina, and that is gonna be a stack going over to Immerse God, but he will be traded over to M-Balance. He did tank a few tower shots there. And Dandy has level 6, M-Balance has no mana, so he's gonna have to respect the Katarina all in here. You can see Dandy is looking for this. He knows M-Balance has no mana, but M-Balance does get the level up, so he does get enough mana now. However, the teleport is coming in. Are we going to see a dive here in the top lane? Immerse God probably going to tank this up, and the ultimate is popped for Immerse God. M-Balance does land a nice knock up onto Dandy, but it is not enough. You can see Immerse God just tanking up the tower. And a very well coordinated dive here for Zwang early game. And that's going to be a huge for M-Balance. He does have teleport, however, so he will be able to pick up most of this wave. And Hook lands onto Dupe there, and Supernub actually gets the kill there. So a nice hook by Eddie. See, Have a Laugh is chasing down Immerse God, but I don't think he has enough damage here. A little bit of BM by this Nasus, but he might pay for it actually, and yeah, he will pay for it. It will be a 1-for-1 maybe. No, it will not be a 1-for-1, so a bit of BM gone wrong there from Immerse God. And he will actually be caused to lose out a whole wave because of that. So Have a Laugh might get caught out here by Dandy though. Ultimate goes down to try to escape, and yes, he will get out. But Dandy probably going to be able to pick up this crab now. And some banter going on in the chat. You love to see it. So, Dandy, will he take the Shuriken? There is no Q now on Superfluous, but he knows he's a bit too close to tower to take that. And our bottom side, Duke the Soup does have 2 kills under his sleeve. So he does have a bit of a gold lead on the TF. As you can see, about 200 gold. But Super Nub has been able to keep up in farm. And now Hook, gonna go wide, sidestep by Super Nub, gold card lands onto Eddie. And a good trade by this TF, but Dupe is just free hitting as well though. And now another gold card lands onto Eddie. Immerse now confident enough on the Nasus to walk up against this Cho'Gath. Now that the Nasus has level 6, Cho'Gath can't really go for too much poke without being afraid of the Nasus all-in. And now Knockup lands onto Immerse God, but he does not really care. And you can see he's just dancing it off because the Nasus has so much sustain at this point of the game. And Immerse God just holding a freeze in the top lane. He's trying to goad M-Balance into getting killed by KipQX from a gank. And KipQX, though, he will be spotted. And now Super Nub. Doing pretty well to keep up in farm. Exactly even in CS against the Caitlyn as TF, and Dandy going straight in for the all-in. Ignite lands onto Superfluous, but I think he will be fine. Yep, he will be able to escape, but the TF port comes in and Yuumi does follow TF. So well, maybe that's why they went for the combo. And I did not know that. My mind is kind of blown right now. So teleport comes in from the TF and cleans up that kill in the top lane. The Herald is dropped. Immerse God pops the ultimate. Ult comes down from Haveloff. KipQX is tanking a lot of tower shots. He does get the heal off, but Haveloff lands the Q onto him. In the meantime, in the bot lane, Yuumi ultimate coming down. Thresh does get rooted. Super Nub does the ult is channeling. The Yuumi did not block the ult, interestingly. Meanwhile, the top lane camera pans back up and Nasus gets a double kill. So that was a bit of an intense sequence of events there. Immerse God though, at the end of that, will be super accelerated. He's getting so many plates for himself, and he will get that first tower for himself as well. Stacks that, that's 610 gold. And you can see the gold lead is almost 3k now. Let's take a look at the gold difference, and yes, you can see most of that gold lead is just in the top lane. 2.3k gold lead for this Nasus, and Immerse God is absolutely huge on that pick now. And now KipQX going to start up the dragon, but he does not have much help for in his team, and he's just going to get taken out. And Have a Laugh will be happy with that. He'll be typing in Orchard. He'll be saying thank you for the leash. Charm lands onto Dandy. And Dandy is going to try to juke out. He might be in trouble here. Have a Laugh is looking for the Q. He does hit it. Dandy jukes back away. And Dandy with some nice fancy feet breaks the ankles of Timo, and he does get out. Super Nub has the gold card available. You can see Immerse God. This Ultra Fed Nasus is here on the flank. He lands the Wither onto Have a Laugh. Dandy is following up. Have a Laugh does have a lantern available. He's not going to click the lantern actually. And he does not click the lantern, and he gets taken out. And that's the classic Thresh meme, right? Please click the lantern. So yeah, unfortunately for Have a Laugh, he does get taken out there. And Immerse God is going to be able to TP back up to the top lane, so he will not miss that many CS. He is actually going to go straight away in ultimate. He's going to go for an all-in here in M-Balance. He has double buffs for himself, so he's going to constantly slow M-Balance here. And M-Balance might just be dead here. Or will he? He just needs one more E, I believe, and the E's just out of range, so M-Balance will be able to get out. Immerse God is going to chase him down, is he? He's going through the tier 2 tower. The Wither does land a nice little sidestep on the knock-up. And Immerse God, he worked so hard for it, and he gets the +12 in the end. But he's gonna run in to have a laugh in the jungle, and you would expect the Amumu to be able to clean up the Nasus. As we pan back to top lane, Immerscott though, I don't know, he has a lot of life still. Here comes the teleport from Dandy, and Immerscott is trying his best to kite this out. He gets so much healing, and Dandy kills him. Superfluous, look at that healing from Immerscott. Immerscott is still alive, he gets taken down finally, but he brought so much time, and Dandy is able to punish for it. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane though, it is a straight up 2v2 kill for this Caitlyn Thresh. As expected, Caitlyn and Thresh is so much stronger than this TF Yuumi in the laning phase. And wow, what an intense early game we have here. So much fighting going on. It is beautiful to see. And now Imbalance misses the knock up onto Dandy. Dandy won't be feeling threatened at all really. He's just going for the CS under tower. And Balancer does have ultimate up, so Dandy's gonna have to respect it. Gives the thumbs up and backs off. And now both junglers going back to power farming, but you can see KipQX has quite a CS lead in the jungle. As expected, Darius has a lot more of a faster clear than an Amumu. So now the TF Yuumi is a pretty fun combo now that I know that the Yuumi follows the TF port. But saying that, still unfavorable lane matchup. Still quite weak in lane. And this Thresh and Caitlyn has been able to pick up quite a few 2v2 kills. However, everywhere else on the map is winning for Zwang. And you can see that by the gold lead. And now KipQX has had enough. He pops the ghost, but the plan is up for have a laugh. KipQX will continue to chase. Twisted Fate port might come down soon. No, it does not come down. It does come down actually very far behind, and Dandy picks up the shutdown. On to Duke the Soup. That is huge for this Katarina, and Dandy is popping off once again. KipQX gets charmed up, does not get the heal off in the top lane though. Immerscott pops the ultimate and is going to kill Imbalance once again. He's huge on the Nasus. And overall, across the map, I believe it's a 2-for-1 in favor of Zwang. And most importantly, a huge shutdown going over to Dandy. And you can see Dandy again. Whenever he gets this Katarina, he seems to pop off. Has a 600 gold bounty on him and is 5-0-2. He is taking over the map this game. Immerscott gonna pick up even more gold for himself. Waits for the stack on the tower as well. And now Dupe is going to chase it down. That is definitely not going to kill him, but Imbalance is behind with the teleport. And he just gets chomped, does Immerscott. And that is right before the dragon spawns as well. So quite unlucky timing there from him.
Hold it, partner.
And now Eddie lands the hook onto Super Nub, and he is on the tower as well. And he's going to try to flash out, but he does go down. So that's Eddie with some very nice hooks so far this game. Hooks the TF under tower, and a bit of disrespect from Supernub. Did not have cleanse up. And Dandy is sitting on the ward right now, but jumps over the charm. Beautiful play, but Superfluous does get out. Has to burn the ultimate. Have a laugh. Uses ultimate to try and desperately disengage here. KipQX is chasing. Have a laugh. We have some crab duking going on. Oh, and he is trying to hit it, but it is too late, and Dandy picks up another kill. Superfluous might just get dove here by Dandy, and yes, Dandy's going to pick up a double kill. And once again, this Katarina 7-0-2 in this early game.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And he's going to get the tower gold for himself as well. And we might just see Clever just sit on Dandy this game. Give him that extra AP, and this Katarina is going to be even more strong than normal. And you can see Dandy's feeling himself. He's looking for this Caitlyn Dupe the Soup. Look at that damage from Dandy. Caitlyn has to instantly burn flash and heal. And you can just tell when a player is feeling himself by the way how confident Dandy is on this Katarina. And I said this last series, I don't think Dandy is going to get this pick again. But we'll have to see. Unless Teemo make up a plan to counter this Katarina. Super Nub gonna have some alone time. Gonna knock down this tier 1 tower bot lane.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Does get the kill onto it. And oh, we'll pretend like we didn't see that one. A little bit of an unfortunate Q there by Kip QX. You know, like sometimes it happens, right? You think the camp is up, and you just go into autopilot mode. Now Dandy, you can see he's just walking into mid lane on his own. He's fully confident. He is going to have to be careful of the thresh hook. There's a lot of hook potential. And almost. It is sidestep though. Dandy is confident in himself to sidestep this. He's hunting down the Samumu here. Level 13 versus level 10 and 11. Yumi goes down. Dandy jumps over the wall, and Have a Laugh is just going to get taken out. And Dandy is not done yet. He's going into the base. He lands it. He does get the E, and he gets a double kill. He goes straight onto Duke the Soup as well. He gets a triple kill. Dandy is just popping off. He is everywhere. He is going to finally go down. Clever is going to be able to jump out as well, but Dandy is so scary on this Katarina. And all he needs is a Yumi on him for that. Super Nub doesn't really do the most damage, I have to say. Missing Pigs are going down. Both teams are having a lot of fun with this one, I think. Which is nice to see. And the Rift Herald is summoned top lane. Kip QX. Bleed stacks are going down onto M-Bounce. M-Bounce looking for the chop, and look at that damage from the Cho'Gath. Gets the kill there. But Super Nub is able to return it. And now Immerse God gonna defend the Herald with his life. It's a matter of honor for himself. He did spawn the Herald, I believe. But the Herald is going down from Duke the Soup. Will Immerse God run out of patience and run at them? He does want to give the Herald the charge, but Duke is going to get it down, and Immerse God might be caught out here though. Twisted Fate is nearby though. The Ghost is popped for Immerse God. He is a little bit low in mana, however. So he might have to just walk it off here. And it looks like he will, but here comes Dandy. And Dandy with this Yumi on him. Let's see how much AP he has. And then you can see 362 AP at 20 minutes with a Yumi on him. Gonna do some insane damage. Now you can see Super Nub does have the rapid fire completed, so he's gonna be able to pull a lot of utility from himself from a long distance. And now Cho'Gath Q does miss. Dandy gets Shirelia's up. Superfluous trying desperately to run away, and I look like I think he does get away. Super Nub does get hit by the knock-up, and I think he's going to be a nice little meal here. Yes, he will be. He gets chomped up by M-Balance. And this Cho'Gath has been racking in quite a few stacks quietly.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So Zwang will have to be a little bit careful if this Cho'Gath gets too big. And I still do think they get outscaled. But they do have enough of a lead, I believe, to snowball this game out. But we'll have to see as this game progresses. Mountain Dragon spawning soon as well. The dragon stacking is towards the favor of Zwang. 2 more dragons and they have a mountain soul for themselves. And Dandy is sitting in a bush. They do know where Dandy is. He is in vision. And team are just posturing around mid lane, and Superfluous goes for the flash charm on Dandy, but there's no follow-up. The team is not close enough nearby. And this Cho'Gath might get focused down here. M-Balance is in trouble. TF ports in. Here comes Dandy though. A Mumu stun lands onto Dandy. Can they kill this Katarina? No. She is jumping everywhere in and out of the fight, and she is still alive with the Yumi onto him. And Dandy, Immerse God, Yumi slow does tag the Caitlyn. And Duke the Soup trying his best to put out some damage. Ultimate goes down. It is going to get blocked by Immerse God, I assume. And now that's a team fight going just in favor of the side of Zwang. And are they going to be able to take out this tier 1? I think they will be. And Dandy is just so scary. You see
Red
Dupe
team's turret has been
has to play so respectfully.
Red team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
And now that's going to be the middle inhibitor going down at just 23 minutes. Zhuang pulling out with a big lead now, 7k gold lead. They're going to be looking for this Mountain Dragon, and I would assume both teams are going to hunt towards it. We might see a very quick fight. And Danny's just in the bush, just taunting them. They cannot walk through this choke without being super afraid. And here comes the dragon fight. Immersegod is behind them. They are getting sandwiched. Have a Laugh does land the Q onto Immersegod, but you can see they're getting completely sandwiched. A huge E there by the Darius. And now, ultimate goes down. Have a Laugh. Dandy is going to go down. Dandy is just untouched this fight. And you can see Immersegod as well on the Nasus is going to stun up the Cho'Gath. And Ambalance gets a triple kill. And it's not even close in the team fight there. And you can see they are just simply too far ahead of Zhuang. And that might be the game. That might be game one going down straight away. Dupe the Soup is spawning in 3 seconds, but I don't think it'll be enough. And Zhuang are knocking down these towers. Immersegod takes absolutely no damage on this Nasus. And now they're going to try to do a little bit of damage padding here. And Dandy does get rooted up. Are they going to be able to end? No, maybe not. Zhuang are going to play it safe and back off. And now Knockup goes on to Super Nub. He's going to have to be careful here. Charm does land onto him and he gets chomped up by Imbalance. So very nicely done there. A good little pick to kind of bring it back a little bit, but they do have a open Nexus. And now you can see this Cho'Gath on Kip QX is trying to get towards Imbalance. Dandy is coming in though, and Imbalance is going to get taken out by Dandy. And this Amumu as well is going to follow very shortly. And you would think those are the two tanks, but Dandy's just too fed and he's just one-shotting even tanks. You know, Immersegod is going to land a Wither onto Dupe the Soup. Is going to try to chase him down. Charm lands onto him. Immersegod pops the ultimate. Is going to get CC locked here. Dupe the Soup trying his best to pull out some damage, but he just has not enough items. And he's trying desperately to run away, but no, Dandy comes in and just one-shots them absolutely. And Zhuang is going to take this game one, you would assume. Nexus goes down. GG's come out in chat. And that's going to be game one, a dominating game one going over to the side of Zhuang. And let's take a look at the damage shots here. And as you can see, yes, as expected, Dandy pulling out the most damage this game. Really popping off on this Katarina. And we'll have to see if he gets this Katarina once again next game. I would have to doubt it. But either way, Zhuang, very clean early. Very clean game one. And we will see you soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly for game two.
standing there and I knew I'm done for, it's over, I'm through. Oh, and playing games from the start. Oh, sinking your nails in my heart. Oh, you bring out the worst in me. Oh, you bring out the worst in me. Looking back in my rear view, nothing, no nothing can change you. No, I decided to play when I knew you were fire. No, it started off warm, but now I hear the choir. Yeah, who do you think you are? Leaving your keys in my car. No, you bring out the worst in me. Oh, you bring out the worst in me.
And welcome back to game 2, everyone. So we saw a very dominating game 1 by Swang, and there it goes again. Katarina banned straight away. Similar to last series. And last series, when the Katarina ban did come through, I believe Zwang did lose that following game. So let's see if Teemo can pull off a similar playstyle to Goon Squad as we saw in the upper bracket. Caitlyn taken away from Dupe the Soup and also the Thresh. So nice respect bans there by Zwang. Dupe the Soup and Eddie both did pop off in the bot lane in the early game, but it just was not enough against that turbo fed Katarina. And also that Nasus, not to mention. Sejuani gonna be banned away. So it looks like more target bans for individual players are going on here. And now it's gonna be the Mordekaiser locked in against this Shen for M-Balance. So Shen has been picked by M-Balance quite a few times. And Nidalee as well locked in for Dandy. So now, what's it gonna be in response of Dandy? Maybe Dandy will be switching to jungle now that the Katarina has been banned out. And we're gonna have a laugh on his Nunu, which he has played quite a few times before. Gonna look to snowball the early game with a lot of ganks. Now what a Nidalee offers is very fast paced clear, a lot of, early game skirmish pressure for these Scuttle Crabs. And she is able to clear very quickly. And look to see some dive setup as well. Nidalee goes very well with chain CC so that she can land a guaranteed spear. And Lee Sin gonna be locked in for Zwang. I do love seeing a Lee Sin. Now in the meta, of course, with the E cooldown buffs for the Lee Sin, he has become more viable in a solo lane. And you can see he's been played so much at MSI as well already.
Let me get in there.
And it's always so fun to see Lee Sin in the meta. Such a stylish champion, I say, is how you would describe it. Just such a fluid and smooth kid, and watching a good Lee Sin is always a pleasure. So Tristana gonna be banned away. They do know Superfluous is gonna be on the Ahri again. So Ahri may be one of the more rougher matchups for Lee Sin, if I'm being honest. So we'll see if Superfluous can pull out some early game priority. Lulu taken away. And Leona as well. Very strong engaged support taken away from Eddie. So what will Teemo's last ban be here? It's gonna be the Samira. Once again. So Zhuang not gonna be able to get this Samira. Rengar being locked in as well by Zhuang. And what an interesting composition. Will it be something like a Rengar bot lane? Or maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll see something super memey like Rengar Ivan or something. That'd be fun to watch. Now Teemo are gonna go more standard. They're gonna go Jinx. And they're gonna pair it with an engaged support with lots of CC in the Nautilus. But I don't know, if I'm Jinx, I'd be pretty scared this game. There's so much threat onto her. And it's gonna be Senna locked in. So Senna, Rengar in the bot lane potentially. And that's gonna be so interesting because now you typically see fasting Senna. And the fasting Senna normally goes Frostfire and goes very tanky. So that will complement something like a Rengar very well. And Senna offers what Rengar cannot do, which is a lot of poke. And if she's able to manage to poke down this bot lane, maybe something like a Rengar will be able to finish it off. Or maybe I'm even wrong and it's not even Rengar ADC. We'll have to see though. As we count it down, two very fun team compositions for this last game. Or potentially last game, sorry. For this second game. And now as we load on in, we will have to wait for the 3-minute spectate delay as always. So what are the win composition, the win conditions for both teams? Well, I mean, we have Mordekaiser should be able to win this Shen matchup, especially when he hits level 6. Before that, you would expect the Shen to bully this Mordekaiser in lane. But once Clever hits level 6 on the Mordekaiser, you would definitely expect him to win that matchup. But what if it's something like a Mordekaiser bot lane as well? That's also a possibility. We have to keep all of these possibilities in mind, and that's the flexibility of Zhuang's draft. Team have no idea where they're going. And interestingly, we're gonna have a few row swaps as well for Zhuang. So Kip QX gonna go support center this time instead of jungle, and we really don't know who jungle is. I would say the most likely is gonna be Nidalee from Dandy. And if we remember all the way back to maybe like season 3, Dandy was probably the best jungler in the world back at that time. Or season 3 or season 4, I believe actually. On Samsung White, for all the OG League players out there if you remember. And his Rengar was actually super feared, but we're going to see Dandy on Nidalee. So I would assume Dandy does play jungle himself, if he is a fan of the OG Korean Dandy. And now have a laugh. I wonder if he's going to be able to pull off some of these early ganks. He does have a lot of gank support and setup in the bot lane from this Norlis and Jinx. Ahri as well, very good gank setup. Shen, very good gank setup. So Have a Laugh has 3 lanes with really good gank setup. So expect him to be trying to pull off a lot of these early cheese ganks as the Nunu. Because the Nunu cannot match this Nidalee in clear, and if he does try, it's not really worth it for him. So definitely lots of ganks going to be happening from the side of Teemo in these very volatile lanes as well. Rengar Senna don't really have a lot of safety. Lee Sin probably does have a lot of safety. Mordekaiser does not. until he hits level 6. So we're waiting in for the load in now. So I'm gonna have to quickly edit my scenes here. So as we see, yes, Zwang is on the blue side. I mean, Zwang is on the red side this time, so Teemo choosing for blue side as we load on in. And we'll be able to take a look at the runes and some of the spells very shortly. And here we go. So as we take a look at the runes, it seems to be fairly standard as expected. Phase Rush on the Nunu. And it is going to be Immerse God on the Rengar. It is confirmed that I think it will be Rengar bot lane. And Dandy will be on the Nidalee. So actually we're in order. I don't have to move around the champions. So will we see an invade? Rengar, Lee Sin, super strong level 1. Just in terms of damage. Whereas a Shen could be also very scary if he lands a big taunt. Shen, Nautilus on the side of Teemo. So it looks like Teemo are going to look for an invade here.
Summoner's Rift.
And they're going through the mid bush. There's no one covering it either. So Zwang have no idea this is happening. Now Super Nub might be in trouble here. He does show. They know where he is. But we can see in the top side, Zwang also invading the blue buff, so they must know something's happening. And mirrored invades from both sides. Are they gonna run into each other? It's a bit of a weird invade by Zwang. They send 2 to the top side and 3 to the red buff, so now they know it's confirmed.
Minions have spawned.
They confirmed that Teemo must be invading them. But it's such a weird early game here. Both teams kind of dodging each other. And they must be so confused on the side of Teemo. M-Balance has to recall so he doesn't miss out experience. And now we might see a face check here. Here we go. Zwang is in the bush. They do see them. They have a Rengar level 1. Eddie's going to face check and Eddie's going to be focused down first. And that's going to be first blood going over to Immerse God on Zwang. So what a creative invade there by Zwang, and they get the first blood. And it's a complete disaster for Teemo. Because at the same time, Dandy is taking away the blue buff, so Haveloff is going to be so behind on this Nunu. So that is just a free kill for the side of Zwang. And now Dandy gonna go through the mid lane. Gonna look for a gank. Superfluous just burns the flash really early there. And it's actually gonna be farming center and support Rengar. Very interesting there. E lands from Clever. He has the level 2 advantage. A nice trade there. And look at this poke from the center. Kip QX. Very confident on this pick, and the support Rengar really offering a lot of zone control here. And he just goes straight in. He knows he has level 2 advantage and is able to just jump on out. He is CC immune. Or more like cleanses the CC. And Dandy getting very low on this red buff, just manages to take it out. I believe he did try to take Raptors, and taking Raptors on Nidalee is often very painful. Now Super Nub going in, you can see this Lee Sin poke coming in. The Q unfortunately does get blocked by the minion for him. And now, Super Nub. I wonder if he's going for an E or Q max on Lee Sin. Typically, it's E max for laning, but he does go for Q, which makes sense because he is against a range matchup. And ooh, a nice little sidestep there on the charm. So now in the bottom side, the bottom lane of team are probably not, they don't really know what this Rengar support does, so they have to play really safe. And now look at that trade going in favor of Zwang. And the Rengar bot lane, the Rengar support just offering so much zone control. And you can see Super Nub just playing around with Superfluous in the mid lane. And Immerse God really doesn't care, he has the W up and he's so tanky, he's able to just back on out from that burst. And a bit of a panic heal coming out from Dupe there. So now mid lane, Superfluous. Superfluous versus Super Nub, the two supers in the mid lane. But Superfluous is out of mana and Super Nub knows it, so he's going to be able to hold that wave, I'm pretty sure, yes. You can see Super Nub is really not scared at all. He knows that Ahri has no mana. He's just going to go for an all-in here. Conqueror is procced, Ignite procs, and it's going to be first blood. More like not first blood, but it's going to be a solo kill. Going over to Super Nub, he knew the Ahri had no mana and he just walks up and takes it. Lee Sin with such high base damage, that's why he's such a good solo laner now. Saying that though, Have a Laugh is going to come in on the Nunu. He gets kicked by Super Nub and he might not be able to get the kill in. Super Nub follows up and gets the execute onto Have a Laugh. Beautiful play there by the Lee Sin. And Zwang are just winning all lanes so far. With a 2k gold lead now against Teemo. And now Mbound's getting bullied a little bit as well in the top lane by this Mordekaiser. And look at that poke going onto Eddie as well. Ignite drops onto him. Probably not going to get the kill there. Maybe not really calculating the Norless shield. And now Clever, now that he's level 6, he's going to pop the ultimate onto Mbounce, but he will be able to get under tower here. So Clever might not have enough damage. No, he does not to get that kill. But either way, the Mordekaiser has gotten past the normal hard part against Shen, which is before he hits 6. And now this matchup will be super heavy in favor of this Mordekaiser. And as we look at top lane, it looks like Dandy is looking for a dive here onto Mbounce. Mbounce might be in trouble here. The spear does land, and this is probably going to be a dead Shen, but he does land the taunt, and Dandy is going to go down in return. But saying that though, it is still very worth it for Zwang because Mbounce is going to miss so much minions at that tower. He does have TP up, but I believe it's going to be too late. Yes, he's going to lose that full wave and a half there. So Dandy would definitely be, you know, calling out in all chat if it was a solo queue game worth. Charm does go wide. And Super Nub lands the Q onto the minion. But still gets the E off, so still a positive trade, I believe, for the Lee Sin. Have a Laugh is able to punish that top dive with a dragon. But he's still level 4, so he's so far behind on this Nunu. Super Nub, can he get out of this gank? Yes, he can. He flashes out and dodges all the skill shots. So Super Nub with some fancy feet there. And now Clever lands the E. Mbounce does taunt out, but it gets interrupted by Clever. But Clever does not have the ultimate available. If he did, that probably would have been a kill there. And now you can see already a 3k gold lead for the side of Zwang. So Dandy now gets the Dark Harvest proc onto Have a Laugh. Have a Laugh has to flash out. Here comes the Shen out from Mbalance. It does go off. A nice double taunt there by Mbalance and Dandy. The Lee Sin Q does get interrupted, but it does not matter. The Shen goes down. Immerse God lands the E onto this Jinx, and Duke the Super is going to go down as well. Nola's hook lands from Eddie. They are able to return 1 kill, and Zwang might be in trouble here. Superfluous has absolutely no mana though. Only has the red buff. Gets rooted up by Kip QX. Super Nub is looking, but he is too low, I think. Eddie on the Norlis misses the hook. Is going to get Lee Sin hooked up. He does land the Ignite. He is able to trade 1-for-1. He will tick down to the Ignite. Here comes the Nunu Snowball as well. Kip QX might be in trouble here. He flashes out. Charm goes wide because of the flash. And nothing else is going to happen. And what an intense sequence of events there in the bottom side. And now have a laugh. Gonna be able to absorb some XP back. So at the end of that goal lead still remains at 3k, so it was kind of an even play. Super Nub on the Lee Sin is so bad, and Immerse God is just gonna find have a laugh in his own jungle. And he gets taken out. You know, you can see the center Rengar bottom lane is popping off quite well. But Super Nub on this Lee Sin has his Gore Drinker already completed at 9 minutes. He is incredibly strong. And now Hook lands onto this Rengar, but it just does not matter. Once he has enough Fury up to cleanse that CC, he can just waltz on out. And now Kip QX gonna have to be careful here though. He does get rooted up and he gets taken out. A bit of disrespect there by him. Not expecting the damage. That's gonna be one kill going over. A much needed kill going over. But these spears from Dandy, another one lands. Mbans misses the taunt and he's probably just gonna go down. Yes, he does. Super Nub getting another kill there. And now, Immersko going in, ult in, going in 1v2 as the support Rengar, but he might get taken out. Yes, he does. Just not enough damage there on the support Rengar. And the missing ping's going down. Maybe if QQX had ultimate up, maybe that play would have worked. But it was on cooldown, I believe. And now look at that Super Nub. Lands the insect, misses the Q though. So they will just trade ultimates there. And Super Nub lands the Q. Is he gonna take it? Yes, he will. And will he get out? Yes, he... Oh, and he tanks one more tower shot, but the Jinx ult would have sniped him anyway. And Dandy has found Haveloff in his jungle. The Shen ult is going down. They are going to try to turn it around. Taunt lands onto Dandy and he might just get CC chained here. But actually, that center ultimate provides him that shield. Flash through comes in from Embalance, does land the Q pull through, and he will go down. And in the bottom lane, some more heavy fighting going on. Ignite is ticking on Immerse God, but he will be fine, it seems. Eddie on the Nautilus has found some nice hooks this game. So let's see if he can convert some more of this. And now, as we see, a taunt does land. Immerse God does find Superfluous. He does cleanse it out though. Charm landed. And Super Nub lands the Q, but he does not follow it through yet. Rengar all coming in. Immerse God is down, and we're going to see a big dragon fight. The dragon is secured, but big Lee Sin kick there. Jinx is excited though. Jinx, Dupe the Soup is excited on this Jinx, and he gets 2 kills. That's going to be another kill as well for Teemo. And Teemo are winning this fight pretty handedly. Kip QX trying desperately to run away, but he will get rooted up. And you would expect Dupe the Soup to be able to clean this up. No, he would not be able to clean it up. But that's dragon number 2 going over towards Teemo. And that is probably going to be the win condition for Teemo if they can get the dragon. And it is going to be a Mountain Soul as well. Super Nub looking for Superfluous. Does not have ultimate. Flash Q goes wide, unfortunately for Super Nub. Ignites ticking and Superfluous gets the solo kill there. And now all of a sudden the kills are even up, but it is still a 3k gold lead because this whole time Clever was able to get a lot of alone time and farm up that top lane. Dandy, can he land the spear? Just not enough range there, but almost it was aimed correctly. So will Teemo be able to continue these dragons ticking so that they can get that mountain soul for themselves? Dandy is going to drop the Rift Hold in the mid lane, but plating is already gone. And he jumps in towards Have a Laugh. He is 2 levels up on this Nunu, and his spears have been heat seeking this game. Landed another one onto Have a Laugh there. And now Eddie looking for the hook on the KipQX does land it. Jinx follow-up comes in. Rengar ult comes down. KipQX though is trying to kite this out. They will focus this Nautilus down. Ultimate goes down onto KipQX, but here comes the Shen ultimate and KipQX just gets taken out completely. Superfluous. Lee Sin Q does land onto him and he will go down as well in return. M-Balance with the Shen ultimate is in the bottom side. They are chasing down this Rengar, but here comes TP from Clever, and this is just going to be a dead Nautilus you would expect. Yes, it is. And now Dupe the Super and M-Balance might have overchased here. They are in trouble. They are trapped. Super Nub is coming in. They are getting pincered from all directions here. How can they escape this situation? Senno coming in as well, and a big snipe by Dandy as well. And M-Balance is going to get taken down as well, and that's going to be 2 kills going over to the side of Zwang. So with that, it's going to be a 5k gold lead. Even though Zwang are down dragons, they have a huge gold lead. And Clever going to yoink the red buff. Gonna be super strong in the side lane here. And now Super Nub looking for Have a Laugh here. Slow is gonna land, and look at that Lee Sin damage. Cockroach is fully stacked. Flash is forced out by Have a Laugh. And Super Nub, had there not been a minion wave, they probably would have gone for the follow-up here. He might be in trouble here though. Charm does land off Superfluous, and he's just gonna be CC chained to death, you would expect. No! He escapes out of there, and a nice E-lance from Clever, and he's going to be able to take out this Ahri. Red buff is applied as well. And nice Q there by Clever as well. And Super Nub going back in a little bit aggressive there by the Lee Sin. But Clever will be able to clean this up, and that's going to be the double kill for this Mordekaiser, who is very strong right now. Dupe the Super is able to take out Immerse God, and Dupe the Super is picking up quite a lot of kills here. Have a Laugh. Hook just misses onto Dandy. But Zwang are going to have to be a little bit careful. Dupe the Soup on this Jinx is getting quite a lot of kills funneled into her. And quite a few nice hook by Eddie. And that bottom lane as well has really set up this Jinx. And now Clever going to try to take this blue buff, but Have a Laugh just going to be able to smite this. Oh no, he smites too early. And unfortunately for Have a Laugh, Clever gets the blue buff as well. And that's just an absolute tilter if you're the Nunu. And now this Mordekaiser is absolutely huge. 700 gold shutdown onto him. Has his 2 main mythic or main components. Or not really components. He's got the Riftmaker and Nash's Tooth. Big items completed. Super Nub camping in the bush. Lands the insect. Does get his Q interrupted though, so he does go down. Shen ult had to be invested for him though. And now on the bottom side, it looks like those Zwang will be able to pick up this dragon though and stop that timer ticking. And we have a pause coming in. Looks like some lag coming for Dupe the Soup. So we'll be back shortly. And M-Balance might be in a bit of trouble here, but if we analyze the state of the map, Jinx is actually in the bush. So this might not be a bad fight actually for the side of Teemo. And it'll be interesting, we'll go straight into it. However, this Mordekaiser is going to be so tanky. Clever has the ninja tabi completed. So I doubt that he's going to be able to be killed here. The ready check goes down and the unpause does land. And it looks like they are going to just run away, and the spear does land, but they do back out. And now, oh, some lag going on. Nope, we're back in it. Clever asking them to report himself. A little bit harsh on himself there. Maybe because of the missed E. And now, the Cyto's Rang gonna be able to take out this Herald. And now Immerse God gonna pop the ultimate, gonna look for Superfluous, but a very nice charm there. Interrupts the Rengar mid-air. Dandy though, still hunting him down, lands the spear. Is gonna do so much damage here, but he does get hooked by Eddie. And Jinx rockets coming in from a distance, and Jinx is going to be able to take out Dandy. Duke the Super is excited. Immerse God does take out Superfluous, but he's going to get chased down by the Jinx. In the meantime, Clever takes out this Norless. Double kill for the Jinx though. Have a laugh buying a lot of time on this Nunu. Duke the Super is free hitting, but look how tanky this Mordekaiser is. And Kip QX is just taking down Duke the Super, and yes, it is going to be an ace for the side of Zwang. And this Mordekaiser is just too far ahead. Clever is so tanky. All he really has is Ninja Tabi, but he has so many base levels that his health is so high. And Dupe the Soup just not able to chew through him. And then this whole time Super Nub was just pushing down top lane. And I believe he got a tier 2 tower and got some damage onto the tier 3. So Zwang are in a commanding position now. 9k gold up. Rifthold is going to be summoned mid lane, so Zwang are going to try to knock down this tower. But I don't think they'll be able to get the full kill. They do have a lot of poke from Dandy. And now, Dupe the Soup gonna try to chase down Kip QX. He does flash forward. Kick lands onto him, and Dupe the Soup a little bit too aggressive there. Gets one shot. Dandy does get hit by the charm. Flashes out to avoid the true damage. And now with Dupe the Soup down, Zwang are able to push down this middle inhibitor. 80 does get rooted as well, and he's getting chased down by this Kip QX. Nice taunt flash onto him. He does get taken down. And Teemo are turning this around. Superfluous gets a kill. That's 2 kills over to Teemo. So they are able to defend their middle inhibitor here. Dandy just gonna do some counter jungling before he resets, you would expect. And oh, a little bit of awkward auto attacking there. And now as we see more items coming, Clever now has Zhonya's as well. He has so much armor under him. So this Jinx really is not going to be doing much damage to him. And all around, it's just item advantages coming in for Zwang. As we press X and look at the gold, it's a 3k gold lead in top lane, a 2k in jungle, a 2.5k in mid lane. In the ADC row, ADC row is actually the only one that's even at support. So the bottom lane of Teemo really trying to hold down this game. Everywhere else has been a complete disaster for them in the map. Clever gets hit by the snowball, gets taunted up, but he does land his ultimate on time. And have a laugh, it's just going to get taken out here. But maybe Clever might be in trouble afterwards. He does still have full health though. He gets a double kill. He still has zombies available to him and he survives actually. End balance goes down. That's going to be 3 kills over to the side of Zwang. And will they be able to end it here? Nice hook by Eddie. CC locks Clever in under tower, but Clever is just too tanky there and he survives as well. And that's 4 kills over to Zwang. They knock down into this middle inhibitor. Will they go for the end here? No, it looks like they do want a half back at. No, they are going to knock down one Nexus tower. Super Nub with a nice combo there, but not enough damage on the Lee Sin. Is not lethality. Does have the Gore Drinker build. They do get one tower to the side of Zwang. Jinx Rocket from Dupe does land. Charm lands onto Super Nub. And he's going to get chased down and taken out by Dupe the Soup as well. Now Dupe is long range artillerying. He's looking for another reset onto Immerse God. Can he land it? Superfluous is chasing as well. Top lane Dandy. They will get the tower actually. So Dandy is able to scare off Imbalance enough for the minions to kill the tower. Eddie is going to try to chase down Dandy. Hook does miss though. It is dodged out there by Dandy. And now Zwang are going to get the second dragon for themselves. So that's 2 Mountain Dragons on the side of Zwang. And now Zwang with a 11k gold lead. Huge lead for Zwang. You would expect them that they're going to look for the end quite soon this game. So what can Teemo do to stop this? They're going to look for probably more picks for Norless Hook. With a Norless Hook or Ari Charm, they really need to look for picks, I suppose. That's the main way they can get back into this game. But it's going to be so hard for them. The odds are definitely stacked against their favor. But definitely the main way they can win this game is if they blow up one person with the pick and get Jinx that reset. Dupe the Soup is still very powerful on this Jinx. So he does have the potential to carry one team fight through. So it is not over yet. As we look, they do have full vision onto Super Nub. They know he's doing this. But Super Nub, though, the E does land onto Havelock. The Shen ultimate is coming down. Mbance lands the taunt onto Clever, but Clever still has ultimate up. Super Nub is going to kill Havelock here. Clever lands the ultimate onto this Norless, and he's going to get the free kill onto Eddie. And Super Nub as well does get taken out. So Dupe the Soup does have one reset, and Super Nub is going to get out, though, however. And in the meantime, while this is all going on, Dandy is just pushing in the top lane. And Super Nub gonna look to interrupt the recalls here. He probably will not take the Q though. And yes, he will not. Superfluous gonna look for the Charm Flash. He does miss it though. And meanwhile, if we look at the base, I believe. In the meantime, Immerse God does kill Superfluous. Super Nub is gonna kill M-Bounce now. As if we quickly pan to the base. Dandy. They do have an open Nexus here, I believe. So Dandy was able to take out those towers in the meantime. And now with the open Nexus, Teemo have their backs up against the wall. There are super minions knocking on their Nexus. They're trying desperately to clear these minions. The Jinx is finally here with the Runauts. Hook lands onto Kip QX. He is going to get taken out. But Dupe did not get an assist there, so she does not get excited. And now Zwang are knocking on the door to eliminate Teemo from this tournament. It has been a clean 2 games from Zwang. Teemo gonna try to desperately engage this one, but Clever is just too big on this Mordekaiser, I believe. And Superfluous is gonna ult out, does dodge out a lot of abilities, but Super Nub lands the Q onto her. And Superfluous is just gonna go down. He gets taken out. And now Clever looking for Eddie here. It's going to be 3 inhibitors going down and a nice triple E by Clever. Beautifully done there. And Danny going to get pinged back. Maybe Zwang don't want to end the game just yet. They want to have a bit of fun here. So they are not going for the end yet. A flash hook goes on to Dandy. Dandy trying to flash out to escape. He is going to get CC chained and taken out here. And now as well, Mordekaiser going to go down. The ultimate takes out Have a Laugh. Now Immerscott looking for a kill onto M-Bounce. He is going to land the root. M-Bounce does land the taunt and tries to flash away. He does survive for a long time, but he gets taken out as well.
Blue team's inhibitor is respawning soon.
And now, Zwang do reset, I believe. It is a bit dangerous for him to go for the end. Supernub going for a kill here onto Superfluous. Ignite lands, flash to finish it off, and Supernub does get the kill. But he gets taken out. But you can see this Nexus is completely exposed. KipQX gets hooked up by Eddie. And this Nautilus is kind of soloing the center, but you can see now the return damage is too much. And yes, he does get taken out, but Duke the Soup able to pick up another kill. So this Jinx is getting a few kills under his belt. But it might not be enough. And you can see team are trying desperately to defend this inhibitor. This inhibitor finally respawned for them, but it just gets instantly taken out. And with 3 inhibitors, you would have to think the end is coming soon. Team are doing their best to hold on, but as I think we have the spectator bug once again, unfortunately, to the end of the game. But you would have to assume that Zwang were able to take out the Nexus here as we exit the game. So congratulations there to Zwang. Very clean 2-0 series by them. And yes, it is Zwang that took out that Nexus. So very nicely done by Zwang. MVP for that second game definitely was clever on this Mordekaiser. He was just such a tanky member on the front line. And was able to win out that lane pretty handily. Dupe the Soup really tried to hold down the fort for Teemo, but it was not enough. This Mordekaiser was just too tanky. And Zwang are going to go in and advance. And I believe I made a mistake earlier this cast, but yeah, Zwang are going to be playing Salty Boys now, I believe, in the bracket. So that's going to be exciting to see. 2 veteran teams in this Rumble taking on each other. They've been around for a long time. Famous organizations, as you would say, in the ANU semester Rumbles. So the Salty Boys, reigning champions, are going to take on Zwang in the loser bracket semifinals. So next week, brackets will be formed again. So we'll be back at the same times next week for, on Saturday, the loser bracket finals or semifinals, and also on Sunday for the 3rd place match and finals. So we will hope to see you guys soon again next week, and thanks for tuning in.